everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel, and welcome to another inZOI speed build. So for today's video, as you can tell, we're doing another inZOI home, and this is my second full inZOI build that I'm doing. The first one was obviously just like a really small 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom starter home, just to kind of see how this game works and how the build system works, and just, you know, to get to know the game a little bit. And so for today's video, I'm actually attempting a slightly larger house, and this is going to be a family home. I will say it did turn out to be a little bit smaller than I wanted to. I'm definitely still getting used to the size proportions in this game, you know, where when I'm building in The Sims, I can just kind of tell, like I don't really have to think about it. I can just kind of tell how big rooms are whenever I'm like creating a shape or creating like an exterior. I can tell how big it's going to be. With this game, obviously, since I'm still like getting used to it and getting to know it a little bit, it's definitely still a lot of fiddling around with size proportions, getting in some filler furniture to see how big rooms actually are. And so this one, for that reason, turned out to be a little bit smaller. I was hoping I would be able to do like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I ended up doing 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. I will say there is a study, like an office space downstairs, that you could very easily turn into another bedroom if you wanted to. But I just turned it into a study because it's downstairs and I just didn't want to turn it into a bedroom right away. It's kind of nice to have those extra rooms, I guess, where you can just that you can just change up if you have more children in this game, or I don't know, if your family grows. There's ways to like expand the bedroom space a little bit, if that makes sense. So yeah, here I was just fiddling around, first of all with the exterior, like the shape of it, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's smart before I take things too far to kind of go to the inside and try to figure out a floor plan like right away. So I did do that. I decided to add a little sunroom extension here on the side because that wall over there was just a little bit too like flat and I didn't really like it, and I wanted to add something there. So I added a little sunroom, and I think that that turned out really cute. And then this is me fiddling around with the upstairs floor plan. I will say staircases in this game, they take up a lot of space, and at first I wasn't sure why, but I think it's because they're just not as steep as they are in The Sims. So for that reason, they're like kind of like flat, if that makes sense, and for that reason they just really take up a lot of space. And so yeah, I definitely was just kind of trying to see where the staircase would make the most sense, where it didn't like take up too much space. And yeah, so that was definitely a little bit of a struggle, but I did end up with 2 bedrooms upstairs and then one slightly larger bathroom where I had the space for a separate shower and tub. There aren't any shower tub combos in this game, so it had to be a separate shower and a separate tub, obviously, but yeah, that worked out. And then downstairs, we also have a half bathroom that you could very easily turn into a full bath with just a shower and a sink and a toilet, but I just went for a half bath, a little powder room. I thought that was cute. But yeah, after I finally figured out the floor plan, I moved back to the exterior. The footage for my inZOI builds, I apologize, but the footage for my inZOI builds, they're a little bit all over the place because it's just a little messy, because it's just me figuring out the game, just trying to see how everything works, and there's definitely things that I don't have as much control over because I just don't know that well how it works or if there's other ways to do it. At the beginning of the video, I cut out a lot of that footage actually, but at the beginning of the video, I was messing around with my front porch because I wasn't able to figure out how to have those like half gabled roofs continuous over the entire porch, because I had to cut it into separate roof pieces because you couldn't drag the roof through the walls, if that makes sense, where in The Sims you can do that, and if you're lucky, the roofs don't clip and they just kind of disappear on the inside of your house, but you can still drag them across your porch, even if they kind of go, quote unquote, through the inside of your house, if that makes any sense. In this game, you cannot do that. I try to do that by holding down Alt, all those little tricks that I'm kind of trying to get to know here in this game. That wasn't happening. So what I had to do was I had to cut up my roof pieces into like separate roof pieces to be able to actually cover the entire front porch. But then I wasn't able to get my separate roof pieces on the same height. So you can't see it in the front because in the front I just changed the shape of the house to where I just could use one roof piece over my small front porch. But in the back you can kind of see it. I can show you once we move on to the tour of the house at the end of the video. I can show you so you can see it a little better. But for some reason I wasn't able to like level the roof pieces so that they're on the same height. It was really frustrating to me, but in the back it's not as like visible. It's not as annoying to me. But yeah, those are like little things that I'm just unsure if you can make it work, or I don't know how to do it. So it's just me fiddling around trying to see what works and what doesn't. But all in all, I think that this house turned out really cute. It's definitely a very standard family house shape, I will say. I've definitely done this shape of house before, in slightly different orientations or with slightly different like bump outs and porch situations, but this is definitely a shape that I've done before. But it's just kind of fun because, like I said, just trying to get to know the game. So it's kind of fun to see how houses that I would normally build in The Sims, like a family home like this, how it would work out in inZOI, because I'm kind of familiar with how it works in The Sims, obviously. If I were to build this exact house, I can kind of tell already how it would turn out. In this game, I have no clue, so I'm just kind of sitting down and, you know, just seeing what happens. And all in all, I think that this one turned out really cute. I love that it's all brick, and then we have a couple of like wood paneling accents on the outside as well. I went for some windows with shutters. These are the windows that I used on my previous home in this game as well, but I did change the colors. For this one, we have some really nice blue shutters. I like that red brownish brick and then the white paneling accents and then the white windows with the blue shutters. I just feel like that is such a classic moment. So I went ahead and did that. Definitely customize a lot of things. We have some pillars in the front that are very uneven. I think I'm gonna delete a couple of them here, yeah, in a minute, because it just looks a little bit, I don't know, a little bit uneven and I don't really like it. But it's not that annoying to me. In The Sims, I feel like I'm very much a perfectionist when it comes to things being even, things being centered where I want them to be centered, you know? And in this game, I can just kind of let that go and I'm just like okay with things not being as perfect, quote unquote, as I would normally want them to be when I'm building in The Sims. So for that reason, it's also sort of refreshing to kind of let go of my perfectionism in that way. And just, you know, it's a different game. Things work differently. I'm not an expert at this by any means. We're just bumbling around trying to make something cute. And I just really like that process of trying to figure out how everything works and getting to know the game. I just think it's a lot of fun. But yeah, you can kind of see how everything is sort of taking shape here. I'm figuring out the colors here, figuring out the staircases. And I don't know, I feel like this house turned out really cute. I will say one thing that I'm definitely still struggling with in this game is landscaping and backyards and front yards for that matter as well. It's definitely something I'm struggling with a little bit. I really, really wish that at some point we'll get some more low-lying bushes and flower beds and just like some larger bushes and, you know, just like some more landscaping to kind of, I don't know, line your build and just, you know, to have a little bit more opportunities there, a little bit more options when it comes to landscaping. I would absolutely love that. I love the tree selection that they have. I think there's a few really, really nice trees. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I'm definitely missing some like bushes and flower beds and things to make the build look a little bit more overgrown in that sense, I think is what I like to do in The Sims and what I would like to do in this game as well, to make things feel a little bit more, I guess, lived in, or have it a little bit like, have it have a little bit more personality or a character to it. I don't know. But I was definitely trying to make do with the landscaping that we have, and I feel like especially the front yard turned out pretty cute. I was using some trees here. I really like that purple pinkish tree. I don't know what kind of tree that would be, but I think it's really pretty. I also placed a larger tree in the front and just a really cute picnic bench with an umbrella. I also figured out how to do a little pathway. But the most annoying thing in the world to me is that I cannot seem to figure out how to connect that pathway to the sidewalk. So if anybody knows how to do this, people have been helping me out, because I was talking about how I wasn't sure how to create a pathway to begin with for my previous build. So people were helping me out in the comments. They were like, you have to use floor tiles and place those down, and then you can like have a little pathway that way. So I figured out how to do that, but then for some reason I just don't have as much control over it as I would like, and I can't seem to connect it to the sidewalk. So that's very unfortunate and a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie. If there's a way to do that, let me know. If you have figured that out, please by all means let me know, because I need to know. I need to figure this out. I cannot rest before I know how to connect my pathways to my sidewalks in inZOI, okay? But then after that, we're moving on to the inside, and here I kind of already knew that the house was gonna be a little bit on the smaller side of things. But here I was starting to furnish it and I was like, okay, yeah, so this is not as big as a family home as I was kind of picturing in my brain before I got started with this. But I will say it turned out so cozy. I love how this one came together. It's definitely more modern. We have a fully open floor plan with an open living room, kitchen, dining. And even though it's small, I feel like it still feels pretty spacious. Things are definitely not as cluttered in this game when it comes to my builds versus my Sims builds, because I don't know, in the Sims, I'm just like, I want clutter everywhere, and that's just what makes it fun for me. In this game, I don't do that as much because, well, for one, we just don't have as much clutter. I don't know how to like freely place things on surfaces, or if that's even a thing in this game just yet. So you're kind of a little bit more limited in that sense, but I'm not mad about it because it keeps things not as overwhelming, and I feel like you can still make things look very realistic with the amount of clutter that we have in the game at this point. I'm really curious though, and just really excited to see what else is coming to this game when it comes to build by stuff. I'm just really excited to see, because obviously the game is still in early access at this point, and I mean, I'm sure they're gonna add more things over time to this game, and I'm so excited to see what else is coming because I love the selection of stuff that we have already. But definitely clutter-wise, I would love to see some more things. I'm obsessed with this couch that I'm using, by the way. I think it's so cute, and then especially combined with this little chair that I placed in front of the bookcase with the lamp next to it. I don't know, I really like it. So for the color scheme here in this house, I went for warm neutrals for the most part. We do have a few accent colors here and there, some blue, just like I have on the exterior for the shutters for the windows. I feel like I continued the exterior floor plan or the exterior color scheme on the interior for this house as well. I definitely stuck to my darker brown, beigey neutrals combined with some lighter neutrals. You can see that I'm just using some white or off-white walls here. And then I placed some accent wallpapers on a couple of different walls in a minute to just kind of warm things up a little bit more. But yeah, a lot of warm tones, neutrals, darker wood tones, and then some splashes of blue here and there. You can see that in the couch as well for the cushions. And I'm just obsessed with the fact that you can basically change the colors and the styles for anything and everything. I talked about this in my very first inZOI speed build as well, where it can also become very overwhelming to me because I will sit down and customize everything just because I can. But I feel like I'm getting better at only customizing things when I really want things to match or when I really want things to look a little bit differently. But I don't need to do it all the time. Like, not every single tiny lamp or every single tiny piece of clutter needs to be customized. And, you know, it's just not always necessary, but it's so fun that you can actually do that. I also played around with some AI textures for this one, mostly in the kids' bedroom. You can see that, you'll see that later once we move on to the upstairs, of course, and once I do the bedrooms. But for the kids' bedroom, I just had so much fun trying to look for, or trying to create like cute little patterns that worked. I found this really cute floral pattern. I think I just used the AI generate a texture kind of feature, and I think I typed in like cute kids flower pattern or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what I typed in, but something along those lines, and it gave me this really cute flowery pattern. I was also trying to find like a cute little baby duck pattern, but the baby duck patterns that it gave me, or the cat patterns for that matter, they were a little creepy. Like that was not the vibe I was going for. But the floral pattern that I found was really cute, so I'm excited to show you that. But here downstairs you can see that in the sunroom area I decided to place a dining table. I was trying to brighten things up here a little bit with some white marble, so I'm using a white marble dining table, and I also Used a sort of matching white marble coffee table in the living room to kind of brighten things up a little bit. The kitchen will also have like a white marble countertop, so everything kind of ties together in that sense, and it could definitely use a little bit of brightening up here, I feel, so that's what I did. I feel like my inZOI builds are, or just inZOI houses in general, are a little bit less bright than my Sims builds, because whenever you place lamps here, I mean, you can tell a difference when you place a light, but more so when you make it actually dark, then you'll see how the lamps that you placed actually end up lighting up the room. So I feel like that's a cool, realistic thing, but I'm definitely getting used to the fact that it feels a little bit like darker and gloomy when you're just in morning or afternoon light and just decorating. You can kind of tell here that it looks a little bit dark, but I feel like it's kind of realistic, and I'm definitely getting used to it, and I just think it looks really cool. I love the lighting in this game. I just think it's really pretty. I also figured out the feature where you can turn on different filters. People were trying to explain that to me for my previous video in the comments as well. It's so cool. I tried it out on stream where you can just have that cartoony filter or like a brightening filter, or there's a couple different filters, which I think is such a fun thing, because in The Sims I use Reshade and I love playing around with different presets for different situations. And I think it's really cool that there is filters in this game, and I really cannot wait to see how they develop that feature and how they're gonna probably like add more filters over time as well. I keep forgetting sometimes that this game is definitely still in early access, and there's probably a lot more coming, which makes it just very exciting to me. I'm just really excited to see what's gonna happen for this game, you know, like what else is gonna come to it. And build-wise, I'm having a lot of fun. I will say I still haven't tried a lot of gameplay, or any gameplay for that matter, in this game. I don't know, I'm still kind of intimidated by that. But let me know what you think. Like, if you are already playing this game, let me know what you think, or if you've been watching a lot of content on it and also gameplay content. What do you think? I feel like there's a lot of people that are like, okay, the graphics are not for me, it's too realistic, which I do get that. I feel like in build mode, it doesn't bother me at all. I really like the graphics in build mode. I think it's just so nice and realistic, and I just love that. It's very refreshing. For inZOI and gameplay, I can understand how for some people it's too realistic and they find it kind of eerie. I will say I'm definitely getting used to it. Now that I've been consuming more content on this game and like playing it myself a little bit more, I'm definitely getting used to it, and I think it's very intriguing, and I just think it's very pretty. And I'm having a lot of fun with this game overall. But yeah, here you can see I was working on the kitchen. I love this island, and I was actually able to slot the stovetop to the island counter, which I was so happy there was actually a slot for that. I did not expect that at all. I also tried to place the sink in the island, but that didn't work. I could only place the sink in the counter from what I understand, or from what worked for me. So, but I was able to place the stovetop on the island, and that was so perfect because that was exactly what I wanted. It does make it so that this house does not have an oven, because I did give them a dishwasher, but there's no separate ovens without a stovetop attached to it. So no oven for these people, but it's fine. Maybe they'll have separate ovens also coming to the game at some point. That would be kind of helpful if you're just using that countertop stove, then, you know, then that's a great addition. But here downstairs, we have a little hallway that leads you to the staircase, and then there is a small half bathroom off of that hallway as well. For some reason, the staircase, I kept deleting like the handrails and like the stair railing, but for some reason it kept coming back. So at one point I was just kind of done with that, and I just kind of left it the way it was. So there's weirdly just like a staircase railing, even though the staircase is completely built in between walls. It doesn't need to be there, and I kept deleting it, but it kept coming back. So I'm not exactly sure. That's probably a little glitch there, which is not that bothersome, but you know, it does have that weird unnecessary staircase railing. Also, I finally figured out how to upload to Canvas. So my previous build, the small one, and also this one, they're both on Canvas. I am, I think, Simmery on Canvas. I will obviously show you when we do a little tour of the place. I can show you the whole build on Canvas. So I'm finally figuring out how that works. For some reason, I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to upload builds to Canvas, but Thanks to my chat, my friends in chat when I was building and playing this game over on stream on Twitch, they were kind of Googling it for me and figuring it out for me. So that was very helpful. Also here off of the living room, we have a really cute office space, and the office also has the sliding glass door onto the back porch. I wanted that back porch to go off of the hallway where we have the staircase and the half bath. But I couldn't place a door because for some reason I couldn't place a door to the outside because it was like too close to the staircase or whatever. It just didn't want to do that. Even with all placing, it didn't work. It didn't want to do that. So I decided to just have the glass sliding door to the backyard off of the study, which I think makes sense. It's kind of pretty that way as well. So I do like that. And then here we're moving on to the second floor. We have a small landing here and then 2 bedrooms. And also we have a really nice glitch here that we're all super familiar with, and that is the roof trims clipping through the wall. You see that little white line lower on the wall next to the bed? It doesn't bother me that much, but yeah, that is a roof trim clipping, and it's also happening in the bathroom. So yeah, that's a glitch that we're all too familiar with. If you build in The Sims 4, then you know and love that one. So I feel like that's a difficult thing to figure out for other building games as well, because it's happening here as well. So here in the parents' bedroom, this one actually turned out to be a little bit more spacious than I thought it was going to be, but I just kept it fairly spacious. It's not super cluttered, but we do have a nice double bed, of course, and some nightstands with some cute lamps. I also placed a little dresser by the bed and placed a TV facing the bed as well, so people can watch TV when they're in bed. Not sure if that works for ZOI. I have no idea. I will say my builds are not play tested. So there definitely might be some problems. I feel like that people have been saying that whenever you alt place things, it usually means that ZOI can't use it anymore. So I'm not sure. I try to, alt place only if I really, really need to, but I definitely alt place a lot of things. So I'm not sure. And my builds aren't play tested, but I feel like I kept them spacious enough to where things should be functional, but honestly, I don't know. But here you can see we're working on the kids' bedroom, and this is my very first kids' bedroom that I'm decorating in inZOI. I was having so much fun with that floral pattern. Look how cute that is. I loved it so much that I used it on the wallpaper, but also as bedding on this really cute duck bed. I love that bed. It's so cute. At first, I wanted a cute like baby duck pattern for the bedding, but I wasn't able to figure that out. They were all sort of creepy and just not really the vibe that I was going for. So I didn't end up doing that, but I really love the matching floral pattern to the wallpaper. That is just so cute. And then I placed some toys here. We have the car track or like train track, not exactly sure what that is. We also have that really cute kitty like kitchen setup thingy, and also a plushie bear. And I was just finding some really cute stuff that I placed. I placed like a slide in the backyard as well. I thought that was so cute. And then I felt like the kid also needed to have a dresser, so they have this really cute pink dresser, and I gave them some matching pink blinds by the windows. And then obviously I had to place some art, and for kids' bedrooms, there's these really cute little stickers and decals. They're all kind of small, but I just ended up placing some random little decals on the wall. You know how in kids' rooms there's just like little stickers on the wall and stuff everywhere? At least that's what I had when I was a kid. So I had a lot of fun just randomly placing some cute stickers on the wall, and it's just not making any sense, which is perfect for a kid's bedroom. And obviously some just like really cute artwork as well. Then I was trying to figure out a rug here, and that floral pattern, I was gonna repeat it again, but it was just a little bit too much. Also, it was clipping with my train track or car track thingy, so I decided to just go for a really small rug under the bed and then call it a day, because that train track was too cute and I didn't want that to be messed up by like a clipping rug, so I decided not to do that. And then here we have a bathroom. It's not the most amazing layout for a bathroom, and I wasn't able to place a toilet where it worked. You can see that we have some clipping roof trims here in the bathroom as well. I placed a toilet by the window. I know that that's a little pet peeve for some people, and I completely understand because it's not really very ideal, but it is how it worked out here in this bathroom in any case. And I feel like it's fine. It's just a game. And then off of the parents' bedroom, we also have a really small balcony here on top of the sunroom. So I decided to just place a couple of plants here, and I wanted to do like a cute lounger, but then I realized that we have like easels and hobby items that I have not used nearly enough in this game. So I placed an easel on the balcony. It's so Sims coded. I would definitely do that in The Sims as well. So that was a cute little moment for me. I really enjoyed that. And then off of the office here is where we have the backyard and the back porch as well. And as you can see, I repeated my cute flowery pattern that I'm so obsessed with for a tablecloth as well, because I thought that that would make a really cute tablecloth for the backyard. So that's what I did. And I also placed a grill here and just a really cute doormat as well. And then for the rest of the backyard, I just wasn't sure. Like I said, I'm definitely struggling with landscaping in this game a little bit and trying to make everything look, you know, overgrown and, you know, just the way I want, but I still feel like it looks cute. But that's it for this speed build. So let's jump into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the family home in the game. I just think it looks very cozy and inviting here from the front in any case. I don't know, it's a little bit of a different style than the neighbors, but I feel like that's okay. I didn't really pay as much attention to that as I normally will in The Sims, but not so much here. Anyway, I just really like this little front yard. The pathway is driving me insane, and the fact that it's not connected to the sidewalk is slightly driving me insane, but we're gonna just pretend we do not see her. I love the fact that we have a lawnmower parked here. That's just, I love that. I love that. That's so cute. We have a little bit of landscaping going on here, and then in the back, oh no, what happened here? Why I swear I deleted that ceiling, but okay, it's fine. That's a little mistake there. But here in the back is where we have a little backyard. It's really not that interesting. There's not a whole lot going on here, but we do have some loungers, a cute chair. There's a cute slide for the kid. And then there's a really cute back porch here with a small table and a grill. And this is what I mean by those roof pieces not being the same height. And it's like impossible to get them to exactly match up. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm just quickly gonna delete that. Thank you so much. And then let's just go to the inside of the house. So first of all, here out front is where we have a really cute porch. There's a small bench, a little welcome mat, and some plants. And then when you go inside, you basically just enter straight into the open living room. Everything's kind of spaciously set up. We have some storage here by the front door where you can just like store your shoes. There's a coat rack, a full-size mirror. I love the plants in this game. I keep saying that, but they're just so pretty. And then over here is where we have the living room. I think this is really cozy. I love the fireplace and the TV and the bookcases and the shape of this couch. I feel like it's just really cozy looking. I would love to have a couch like this in real life, to be honest. And then that really cute matching chair as well. I just think it's really cute. And then going this way is where we have the dining room. I also found this really cute rocking horse that I just had to place because I had a little bit of space left over here, so it was really cute to add that in. There's a dining room over here in the sunroom area where I wanted there to be some more windows here, but I couldn't really find any windows that fit nicely on these smaller wall pieces, so just one bigger window. And then over here is the kitchen. I really like how the kitchen came out. I just love this island, and then the cooktop on top of it, the cute bar stools here, and obviously over here we have the sink and whatnot. There's also a dishwasher that's kind of hidden because I changed the color of it so that it blends in, and then obviously a fridge. I don't know, I like this kitchen. I think it's cute. Then going back over to this side is where we have a small study. Oh no, a chair got deleted. There's some things that are like weirdly just gone. I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. There was a cute chair in this corner, but not anymore. I think when you get it off of canvas, it will be there though. Maybe not. But in any case, there is a computer here and a printer, and then there's some more bookcases in the back, and this is where we have that sliding glass door to the back porch as well. And then through this archway here is where we have that small hallway. There's barely anything here because I couldn't really place anything because of the staircase, but there is a half bath over here with just a sink and a toilet. And then the staircase where the stair railing is weirdly just back, but that's okay. So over here is where we have the landing, which I kept that very simple. We just have a small couch and some storage There is a bathroom over on this side with a shower, a sink, a toilet, and then of course also a tub, which I thought was really nice. Over on this side is where we have the parents' bedroom. Again, pretty simple, but I do like the soft colors in here. I think that is so pretty. They have a TV facing the bed as well, and then just some dressers, a nice little couch here, and an AC unit. I don't know why just the parents got an AC unit, but you know, they have one, so they're lucky. And then out here is a small balcony with an easel. And then obviously we have the kids' room that I think is so cute. I'm obsessed with this wallpaper that I overused on the bedding as well, but that's okay. It's a really cute room with just some toys here in the corner. I love the little stickers on the wall, but yeah, you can definitely tell that I'm still getting used to this game because the house is fairly simple, but you know, I think it's cute and I think it turned out really, really nice. So I did upload this cozy family home on Canvas. It is up here. People have downloaded it already. That is so fun. For some reason, I wasn't able to figure out how to take a screenshot of the second floor. So we just have a screenshot of the front and then the first floor. I don't know. I'm really bad at this still, but you know, it's up there. So you can download it if you want to. I am Simmery on Canvas, so that's where you can find it. I also uploaded the simple starter home that people have been requesting. So I went back and added this. Ooh, people have been commenting. I'm so happy you got this uploaded. Oh, that's so sweet. So proud of you. A first like and comment, let's go. Oh, that's so cute. People are so nice. I'm gonna give this little hearts. So wholesome. Anyway, my builds are up on Canvas now for you to download. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video, so I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this build off of Canvas like I just showed you. You can follow me over on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmery Sims. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so, and if you'd like to get notified every single time I upload a video, just click that bell icon. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/Simmery Sims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!